Welcome back to Record Rift, where we dive into the pivotal moments that shaped our world. Today, we're stepping into one of history's darkest chapters, the rise of Adolf Hitler, from a failed artist in Vienna to the dictator of Nazi Germany by 1939. Picture a man fueled by resentment, charisma, and a twisted vision, exploiting a nation's despair to seize absolute power. This story isn't just about one man. It's about how economic chaos, political failure, and human fear paved the way for catastrophe. How did Hitler transform from a nobody to a Führer? What forces enabled his ascent? Over the next 20 minutes, we'll trace his journey from prison to power, uncovering the chilling steps that led to World War II. Brace yourself. This is a grim but crucial tale. Let's begin. Adolf Hitler was born in 1889 in Braunau, Austria, to a strict father and a doting mother. A mediocre student with dreams of becoming an artist, he moved to Vienna in 1907, only to face rejection from art school and years of poverty. Vienna, a melting pot of ideas, exposed him to anti-Semitism, nationalism, and extremist politics, which festered in his mind. By 1913, he drifted to Munich, Germany, finding purpose when World War I broke out. Serving as a courier in the German army, Hitler thrived in the trenches, earning an Iron Cross but never rising above corporal. The war's end in 1918 shattered him. Germany's defeat and the harsh Treaty of Versailles, which stripped land and imposed reparations, fueled his rage. Blaming Jews, communists, and politicians for Germany's humiliation, Hitler joined the tiny German Workers' Party in Munich in 1919. His fiery speeches, railing against Versailles and scapegoating minorities, drew crowds. Renamed the National Socialist German Workers' Party, Nazi Party, it adopted the swastika and a platform blending nationalism, anti-Semitism, and anti-communism. By 1923, Hitler, inspired by Mussolini's March on Rome, attempted the Beer Hall Putsch, a failed coup in Munich. Arrested and sentenced to 5 years, he served only 9 months in Landsberg prison, where he wrote Mein Kampf, a rambling manifesto outlining his vision of German dominance and racial purity. Prison didn't break him. It gave him a platform. Released in 1924, Hitler transformed the Nazi Party into a political juggernaut. Germany's Weimar Republic, born after World War I, was crumbling under hyperinflation, unemployment, and political violence. The middle class, wiped out by economic chaos, and veterans, bitter over defeat, were ripe for Hitler's promises of rebirth. He reorganized the Nazis, creating a paramilitary wing, the SA Stormtroopers, led by Ernst Röhm, to intimidate rivals. Propaganda, masterminded by Joseph Goebbels, painted Hitler as Germany's savior, using rallies, posters, and radio to spread the message. The Nazi salute uniforms and swastika flags created a cult of loyalty. Hitler's speeches were electrifying, blending rage with hope. He scapegoated Jews as a root of Germany's woes, tapping into existing prejudices. By 1928, the Nazis were still marginal, winning just 2.6% of votes in national elections. But the Great Depression, starting in 1929, was a game-changer. Unemployment soared to 6 million, and the Weimar government, paralyzed by coalition squabbles, lost trust. The Nazis capitalized, promising jobs, national pride, and revenge on Versailles. By 1932, they were Germany's largest party, with 37% of the vote. Hitler, now a national figure, ran for president against Paul von Hindenburg, losing but gaining legitimacy. The Nazis weren't just a party. They were a movement, fueled by despair and dazzling propaganda. In January 1933, Hitler's rise reached its peak. Conservative elites, fearing communism and hoping to control him, convinced President Hindenburg to appoint Hitler as chancellor. It was a fatal miscalculation. At 43, Hitler led a coalition government but wasted no time consolidating power. In February, the Reichstag fire, blamed on communists but likely staged by Nazis, gave Hitler an excuse to suspend civil liberties via the Reichstag fire decree. The Enabling Act of March 1933 allowed him to pass laws without parliament, effectively ending democracy. Trade unions were banned, opposition parties dissolved, and the press muzzled. By July, Germany was a one-party state. Hitler's ruthlessness cemented his grip. In 1934, During the Night of the Long Knives, he purged the SS leadership, including Rome, to appease the army and eliminate rivals. When Hindenburg died in August 1934, Hitler merged the roles of Chancellor and President, declaring himself Führer. The army swore loyalty to him personally, not Germany. Propaganda glorified Hitler as infallible, while the Gestapo, led by Heinrich Himmler, crushed dissent. Concentration camps, like Dachau, opened for political prisoners, Jews, and others deemed undesirable. By 1935, the Nuremberg laws stripped Jews of citizenship, institutionalizing anti-Semitism. Hitler's Germany was no longer a republic. It was a totalitarian regime built on fear, loyalty, and a cult of personality. From 1933 to 1939, Hitler rebuilt Germany in his image. Economically, he defied the Depression, launching public works like the Autobahn and rearming the military, creating jobs. Unemployment dropped from 6 million to under 1 million by 1937, though at the cost of massive debt and suppressed wages. Propaganda touted this as a miracle, boosting Hitler's popularity. Socially, the Nazis controlled every sphere. Schools taught racial ideology, the Hitler Youth indoctrinated children, and women were pushed into domestic roles. Dissenters faced imprisonment or worse, yet many Germans, craving stability, embraced or tolerated the regime. Internationally, Hitler tested the world's resolve. In 1935, he rearmed Germany, defying Versailles. In 1936, he remilitarized the Rhineland, meeting no resistance from Britain or France, who pursued appeasement to avoid war. The Spanish Civil War, 1936-39, became a testing ground for Nazi weapons, with Hitler backing Franco's fascists. In 1938, he annexed Austria in the Anschluss, greeted by cheering crowds. Later that year, the Munich Agreement handed him Czechoslovakia's Sudetenland, with Britain's Neville Chamberlain proclaiming peace for our time. Emboldened, Hitler seized the rest of Czechoslovakia in 1939. His pact with Stalin's Soviet Union in August 1939, splitting Poland, shocked the world. On September 1st, Hitler invaded Poland, triggering World War II. From prison to power, he'd reshaped Germany and set Europe ablaze. That's the chilling saga of Adolf Hitler's rise, from a prison cell to the brink of world domination. What do you think? Could such a rise happen again, or have we learned enough? Share your thoughts in the comments, and tell us what historical warning you want us to explore next on Record Rift. If this journey through the 20th century shook you, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to join our quest through history. Until next time, keep uncovering the rifts that shape our past. This is Record Rift, signing off.